All right, so joining me now is Ravi Agrawal, editor-in-chief of Foreign Policy Magazine and host of the Global Reboot podcast. Ravi, thanks for joining us on this. Really appreciate it. I really enjoyed listening to your podcast, and I thought it was fascinating, especially when you talked to Secretary Kerry and asked him why he's even doing this when he could be having a rum punch right about now at this point in his career.
Right, exactly, and couldn't we all? But thank you for having me on, and thank you for listening to the podcast.
Yeah, of course. So some of the sound that we played was in response to the question that you asked in both of those separate podcasts, in talking about what was the optimism, what have we learned from these experiences with Secretary Kerry. It was about the environment, of course, and with the doctors, it was about the COVID response, or lack thereof, of course, in this country and so many countries across the world. Why did you decide to focus this podcast so much on optimism?
Well, because we need it, frankly. It's been a year. It's been a very difficult year here in the United States, but all over the world. And for much of the world, it is still a very difficult time. The U.S., of course, is beginning to emerge from the pandemic, but for many people in the global South, especially, there's a long road ahead. They're just much further behind in being able to vaccinate people. But beyond all of that, the larger point for me with this podcast was to look beyond this year. What are the lessons that the world has learned from this last year of being in a lockdown? But not just that. What are the lessons we've learned in terms of combating the world's biggest challenges, from climate change to global public health to technology? And it's just a great moment to try and do some blue skies thinking as we're all looking back to reemerge and reengage with the world.
It's interesting because I felt like another theme of your podcast was, what do you do in a post-Trump era? What does foreign policy look like in a post-Trump era, considering the failings that happened in the COVID response, and of course, all the decisions that were made by the Trump administration, specifically, pulling out of the Paris Climate Accord and Kerry's reaction to that, and how we build back better from that, right? How do we reestablish trust on the foreign stage? How do we?
That's a great question, and I think we're all still coming to grips with the answers to that question. But look, we may have the beginnings of a roadmap, and the beginnings of that roadmap is to talk to each other, is to return to an era of multilateralism, is to go back to the time when countries tried to take on the big problems by looking to not just unilateral solutions, but global solutions. We'll see that with President Biden's trip to Europe later this week. But we're also seeing that in the way in which the world is talking about how unless you vaccinate everyone everywhere, you're not safe wherever you are. The large trend of the last 5-6 years has been insularity, has been the growth of nationalism within various countries. And I think as we reemerge from the Trump era, that is probably the biggest thing to untangle, to reverse from, not just in the United States, but in many other countries around the world, which have seen similar Trumpist movements or Trumpism tendencies, and are looking for ways to sort of get out of that.
Ravi, before I let you go, I just want you to weigh in on what's happening in Israel right now. What does a post-Netanyahu leadership look like?
Well, for starters, it's going to be very unstable. Coalition governments are always, not as stable. They can be brought down by a no-confidence motion quite easily. What unites this group, a group of essentially 61 seats in the parliament, is their dislike for Netanyahu, their unified desire to bring down a man who's been in power since 2009 and who has done everything he possibly can to stay in power and to avoid trial for a range of offenses he's allegedly committed, but for which there seems to be mounting evidence. I think what's going to happen next is likely this group, which we still don't exactly know what they stand for. It's a very disparate alliance of 8 very different groups across a wide ideological spectrum. For starters, I think we'll just see them try and sort of create power, build power, hold on to that power for a little bit, and then we take it from there. But it's very unclear as to what they stand for, what their politics will look like, what it will mean for Israel and also for the region.
Ravi Agrawal, thank you so much. Make sure to tune into the Global Reboot podcast wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes drop every single Wednesday. And we're doing this every week, by the way. So let me know what podcast you love at Yasmin V on Twitter, and we'll try and feature it. Coming up, everybody, new reporting.